Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. This is your boy, the coach from the WWE. I would like to welcome you to the very first wrestling podcast in the world to take you on a weekly deep dive into classic matches along with legends of the squared circle. Enjoy the discussion. Enjoy the back and forth. There's so much to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Payoff.
Welcome to an all-new episode of The Payoff. I'm Tom. That's Jeff. Jeff, how the hell are you doing, man?
Oh, been a while since we've been here. We are deep on the road at this point. I feel like WrestleMania is around the corner for us. And so it's going to be here before we know it in, 2 weeks? A little over 2 weeks, which is insanity. And so, I'm feeling good, though. It's, tis the season. We still a lot of questions, which we'll talk about, some missing some real big missing names from the card at this point as of today's recording. So we will we'll talk about that a little bit, but good stuff otherwise.
Well, I'm looking forward to catching up. Obviously we record these in batches, so we haven't recorded in a while, so we got a lot to talk about. I got some stuff. I know you do as well. We are on the road to WrestleMania. This is a interesting match in a number of ways. I've never gone back and watched it. I was there live. It was quiet, but remember too, this was a probably 6-hour show. I mean, certainly with like pre-show stuff. There were just quiet matches at WrestleMania. That's the thing. So it'll be interesting to watch this. I'm looking forward to it. So let's get right into the build.
Oh, it's time for the build.
So WrestleMania 26. We're in Arizona. I was at this one. Had a good time. Lot of action on this show. Stadium shows, 72,000 in attendance at the University of Phoenix Stadium. At the time, that's what it was called, where the Arizona Cardinals play. Did a buy rate of 885,000. We're still in the buy rate area. And then let's get into the card here. So again, this was just one of those really big, long cards, including the dark match. You had a total of 11 matches. So we started with a 26-man battle royal that only took 8 minutes. Yoshi Tatsu is last going to eliminate Zack Ryder. Haven't heard from him in a long time. But there's a guy on SmackDown that looks just like him.
Looks just like him. It's crazy, yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about this. I'm sure that there are dorks on the internet that are making fun of Cardona because, you're back being like a, mid-carder or whatever. Dude, the guy's wrestling in arenas with 20,000 people. He gets to work with his wife. He's in the WWE machine. He got to go with his own name. The guy won. The guy's a winner.
Yeah.
So,
he reached the top. I don't understand how people don't realize that. Yeah.
I had that thought on the other day when I guess Randy Orton, beat him up or whatever on SmackDown. And it was, something of like, all these years and like, we're right back where we were before. And I'm like, dude, if that's actually what you think, I feel bad for you, honestly.
Yeah. You're right.
We start off the show, tag team match for the unified WWE Tag Team Championships. The Miz and Big Show are going to defeat John Morrison and R-Truth. So two of the four people are still on the roster there. Keep in mind, this is almost 20 years ago. Oh, this is a fun one. Randy Orton's going to defeat Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. In 9 minutes. So got our legacy match, and now we're about to revisit that. And Ted DiBiase Jr. is innocent, so maybe it'll become a three-way match.
Crazy.
Who knows? Yeah. It's funny. It's like I thought about him. Like if they tried to involve him at all, I feel like most fans would have no idea who he was. I mean, us sickos would, but like it would be tough to like involve him.
Especially
Money in the Bank.
Cody Orton and then Ted DiBiase Jr. It's just not a thing.
Money in the Bank ladder match. Jack Swagger is going to defeat Christian, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Evan Bourne, Kane, Kofi Kingston, Matt Hardy, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. Triple H is going to defeat Sheamus in a just random 12-minute match. Rey Mysterio is going to defeat CM Punk in a singles match. If Mysterio had lost, he'd have to join the Straight Edge Society. Then we get Bret Hart and Mr. McMahon. Then we move on to Chris Jericho retaining his World Heavyweight Championship against Edge in 15 minutes. 10 Diva Tag Team match of Alicia Fox, Lay Cool, Maurice, and Vicky Guerrero defeating Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, Gail Kim, Kelly Kelly, and Mickie James. In our semi-main event, John Cena is going to defeat Batista by submission to win back his WWE Championship. And then in the main event, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, streak versus career. Shawn Michaels is forced to retire. That's the show.
Okay.
It's a hell of a lot happening on that. We would have had no issues if we made this a 2-night show.
Right.
Yeah. You could have maybe added a match or two and made a nice 2-night show. I prefer the 2 nights.
Agreed. Yeah. And this isn't that bad. So for this one, it's interesting because you really, so much of this is the throwback to the Montreal Screwjob. And so you kind of have to look at that really Bret's WWE career in 1997 was over after the Screwjob. So, at this point we're jumping to 2010. It's 13 years later, and we have that, and so you really had Bret not around for that entire time, and so and everybody knew the story. It was the screw job, and so but then you had him coming back actually January 2010. This WrestleMania taking place in late March, coming back to actually confront Vince for the first time since that happened,
which was surreal at the time. By the way, it was wild for him to be on TV face to face with Vince, with Shawn. That was like must see TV. I think it was like maybe the first or second Raw after New Year's. Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy. And so, they teased reconciliation, but of course that was never going to be a thing. Vince, of course, apologized, immediately attacked Bret. And so, being heel, what else could he do here? But now, we're more about revenge than anything else. And so they very quickly made this a no holds barred match. Part of that was because Bret was limited to what he could do in the ring. But then also on the flip side, it did add an air of kind of more aggression to the match itself. And so, more than any, and they had some back and forth here and there, but the reality is this was more grounded in kind of what happened like years ago versus the story that's happening now. Like that's where all of this kind of lies, is what happened 13 years ago. Not, we're going to, they didn't need to build much because everybody knew what they had. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I got it pulled up. Let's do this.
Okay, we're these timestamps on Netflix are a pain. We have 2 hours, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, 40 seconds, 2 hours, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the show. Jeff, are you ready?
Let's go.
It's time for the payoff.
Oh, it's time for the payoff.
We all know about all your little
All
tricks.
right, so Brett's got the mic.
This your greatest creation of them all.
You got Bruce Hart is the special guest referee.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be forever remembered as the night that Bret screwed Vince.
Wait a minute. Oh, the Hart family's on the tape.
Wait, look at the look on Mr. McMahon's face.
get it on.
Oh, my. After 13 years, Bret Hart has stuck it to Vince. No holds barred matches underway. And the entire
So Vince thought that Bret Hart's family was going to screw him, but then they're all on Bret's side. Is that right?
Yeah, you've kind of got a weird lumberjack feel on the outside. You've got I see Tyson Kidd out there. I see Davey Boy Jr. is out there. Yeah, and so Bret, moving slow, jean shorts, long jean shorts, t-shirt, Vince in the all black sweats. Yeah, and so just a bunch of who is that his dad right there too, I think. Yep. And so Bret's dad rather. Yeah. So you've got all these people here, just kind of involved. Is it Mooney too, I think, is on the hard cam side. Now everybody's beating up Vince. Yep. All right, so the question I got for you. We've got obviously, this match, kind of slotted it in here just because of what it was. We've got WrestleMania coming up in 2 weeks now. I'm going to just drop you. I kind of took some notes before this one. As of today, we're recording. At this point, we are 3 weeks out from when WrestleMania happens. But the people who don't have a match yet are Charlotte Flair, Gunther, LA Knight, Io Sky, Bayley, Damian Priest, just to name a few. They have officially announced 6 matches as of today. If you look at last year's card, they had 7 matches on both nights. So wow. They've got 3 and 4 matches per night still to go with 3 weeks out. Can they do it? Are we being like, is this about to be like the train wreck, or I just don't know what's going to happen here?
Yeah, a couple things. I don't understand why more hasn't been announced.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like there's a Saturday night's main event this weekend where you have to get through that to then announce matches. Okay, so there's no obstacles like there are with other shows. Like throughout the year, I understand why, hey, we gotta, sell out Germany for a Clash before we can move on to SummerSlam. So I get that throughout the year. This card, I don't understand why more hasn't already been announced. The Charlotte Flair, they're going to obviously do like a 3-way or a 4-way with the women, including the Bellas, including Irresistible Forces. So, okay, that's fine. But I don't understand why more hasn't been announced, especially given the fact that we have a lot of tickets to sell. And yes, TKO has made the business decision for both UFC and WWE to make their tickets very, very, very expensive. You can like it, you can not like it. That's their business strategy. And they're a publicly traded company that is trying to maximize the amount of profits they make so that their stockholders are happy. Okay. That's just how business works. Chipotle charges $20 for a bowl now. Do I like it? No, but just the way the world works. So, Vince being in control and running the business as a family owned business, even after they went public, wasn't so bad after all, kids. All right. Mm-hmm. So with the amount of tickets they have to sell, I'm very surprised they haven't announced more. Of all of that, the one that I'm not on Twitter reading all the rumors. I don't pay to have Dave Meltzer spoil everything or try to through his educated guesses. So maybe there's something out there, but I'm really surprised about the Gunther thing. So you've given this guy all of this equity of Cena, AJ. It seems odd that he's not fighting for a world championship. But I'm not saying he should be in one of those matches, but it just seems odd. So like where do you I just that's the one that I'm the most surprised about. Is like, where do you go next with this guy? Or is he just presented as I don't want to say a special attraction, but it's like, not everyone can be in the world title picture. But I don't know what you do with him. I really don't. Have you seen anything? And is there anything else about the card that really surprises you? Like this R-Truth Priest thing is actually kind of interesting. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get like some kind of multi-man tag match. That's fine. But yeah, the Gunther thing, what do you know about it, or what are your thoughts? I don't,
and that's the honest truth is like, everything that, I'm with you. You and I kind of go on a blackout at this point in the year with WrestleMania coming up, but they don't know either. It's like you had him dethrone AJ Styles. You had him, I say dethrone, like retire AJ Styles. You had him retire John Cena. They had the legend killer Randy Orton type stuff going with him. Obviously, Orton's got a different match this year, but it's one of those where how do you not have him? 3 weeks out, how do you build to a match for that? I have no idea. And so, the Unreal or whatever it is going to be super interesting. But yeah, it's hard to see what's going to happen. To your point too, I'm looking.
So Bret was going to go for sharpshooter, but he's just he's continuing to beat him with a tire iron.
Yep. Nosebleeds, and I'm talking way up, way out of like into the corner of like practically behind the screen, looking at the ring. The cheapest ticket out there right now is $405 for both nights.
I mean, it's insane.
And then let's see here.
You go for the sharpshooter here?
5. Here we go. Yep.
Oh, this man literally pleading and begging for mercy.
Maybe not.
Yeah, and so like Gunther, I don't like LA Knight. I don't know how much. Like I just don't think they're on him. It doesn't matter what he does. He's never is no matter how over he is. It's never going to happen. Bailey, they can, she's always left off the WrestleMania card for whatever reason. It's unfortunate too, because you do wonder kind of, Dominic got hurt a little bit. And so that's up in the air as well too. Like, you're going to have to deal with some of these factions like Solo Sikoa and kind of doing some of that stuff out there. So that's, kind of what's happening. So, and then you do have, Ray is out with an injury as well too. You got Bronson Reed is out. Like, so I get it that is a part of wrestling, that those injuries are going to happen. But just like we've seen on Unreal, like, was it not in January and they had this all on a whiteboard somewhere? Like, you can't tell me they didn't, but maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Who's Seth wrestling?
Seth currently isn't on the card either. The current card 3 weeks out is Punk and Roman.
Well, I know. Seth. And then what are they doing with Logan in theory? Logan in theory. I mean, is it going to be Logan versus Seth?
It could be. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. I can't see him doing a shorter card Mania. Like 5 matches on a night for Mania, like that, I feel like we're getting cheated at that point. I don't know.
I think like a really badass Wyatt's versus MFT could be really good. I don't know, man. We'll see.
That could be good.
We talked about this earlier, but this Raw and Netflix thing. So I'll tell you what my experience was, and then maybe you can tell me what other people are saying or what you've seen. So I wanted to watch it Monday. It was still going on. So, you like start at the beginning and that just starts playing ads and then more ads.
Yep.
And then I wasn't on the beginning. I thought I was on the beginning. I wasn't on the beginning. I had a hell of a time. I think I gave up. I waited till the show was over and then I tried watching it and then there were more ads. And then I kind of got through it. It was not a pleasant viewing experience. And I don't care about the ads. I get it. You need to run some ads. But man, it was just to the point where I'm like, well, I'm not going to watch. So no one's going to see these ads if people aren't watching.
Yeah.
What have you seen?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I feel like so much of it now, most recently they did one of those like by the numbers, and it was like, 36 minutes or something of the 3-hour show was wrestling, and that was it. And so, there's been a few shows. You and I text each other all this every once in a while. I'll be like, I'm really glad I didn't buy tickets to this show or that show or whatever it was, because I would not have gotten my money's worth, especially with how much it is right now. Like there's no way on some of these. And so, yeah, it's tough because I just want, like, there's so much story build, but that's the other weird thing. They're not really building many stories right now. Like we'll probably end up, this match is getting close to the end here with Bret going for the sharpshooter again. So, but I want to talk about like Danhausen and that type of stuff and how that, after his debut, how that has turned around. And so, they're doing a lot of storytelling with that, but it's hard. Like, I don't understand. I don't even know if they know what the purpose of the weekly show is anymore, which is weird to say.
Mr. McMahon taps to the sharpshooter. Bret Hart's signature submission hold brings an end to one of the most volatile rivalries in WWE
Bret, you've been locked in.
Bret Hart
as a result of a submission. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, revenge appears to be sweet for the hit.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's all it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Stepping over Vince. That's funny. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the aftermath.
Ho! It's time for the aftermath.
What'd you think?
Yeah, it was nothing. It's just, I get it. Like I said, it was, they're not in their prime. It's Bret and Vince in 2010. Like, it's not, the screw job story was better than this. Like, it's great to see, finally they put a little bit of a cap on it, or a bow on it rather, but it's still, whatever.
Yeah, this is a really tough one for me because from a nostalgia standpoint, man, and I'm not the biggest Bret Hart mark, but like you bring Bret back into the fold. I love that. I love him getting a WrestleMania moment. I just wonder, do you do this differently? Like, do you, maybe there is no build and you just say, Bret Hart is going to confront Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, or, I don't know. Maybe there's a different, I'm saying different than a match. Like, could these two have, could you have done that segment without it being a match? I think that's the problem with it. Like, the idea of doing it, I just don't know if it needed to be a match. I think about there was a WrestleMania where Hulk Hogan came out unannounced and he beat up Muhammad Hassan, and the place went batshit crazy. It was awesome. Like, that was a WrestleMania moment. But if there was a build to a Hulk Hogan versus Hassan match and Hogan couldn't do the leg drop anymore, you would have just been like, that's kind of lame. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like if you under promise and over deliver, it's the Steve Austin thing. Like, is he gonna wrestle? Is he not gonna wrestle? Like, what are they gonna do? What's he gonna be wearing? And then what they did was awesome, right? I mean, we loved what they did, but if Steve Austin had, done this build, had like a real match where he was in his tights, and then you were like, well, he doesn't look the same. He's a little, his body's not the exact same, or he's wrestling in a t-shirt. But because of the way they did it, it was like, that was awesome. It was amazing. It would be like, Shawn Michaels, him coming out to the old DX stuff and having no hair, it was like, whoa, that was lame. I can't believe he came back. If Shawn Michaels came out at WrestleMania and he was wearing a cowboy hat and jeans and did sweet chin music, elbow drop off the top, a moonsault, you'd go, oh my God, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. This guy still has it. He's amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all how you do this stuff. There's things The Undertaker does now that are like, that was amazing, but it's not a full match.
Right.
And
exactly.
if you saw him in a full match, it would probably be really bad.
Yeah. It's just, it's the what ifs. It's kind of crazy to think about, but yeah. So, all right.
So I liked everything except the actual execution of it, I guess. Is what
right. Exactly. That was where, and I wouldn't say it was a dud, but it was just, it got where it needed to go, but it wasn't like, yay, I wasn't jumping for joy, but anyways, so. All right. So Bret obviously got the win, got some emotional closure. It kind of, quote unquote, corrected the imbalance, if you will. Even though it's still, the most talked about, probably a top 2 moment, if not like, Undertaker throwing Mankind off the cage. It's up there. Absolutely, for what it was. But Bret, that was kind of it. He never really, there was no rematch. There was no nothing. Bret didn't have anything. Vince, though, continued to be the authority and storyline and kind of be that. Didn't seek revenge on Bret, but that wasn't the point. Like, that just wasn't what it had. So, Vince got his ass kicked. That's really what it boiled down to. And then this was, for the longest time, like his final on-screen interaction with Bret and doing that. And so, it kind of acknowledged that Vince messed up with the screw job, but also didn't totally rewrite everything. So, obviously, neither of these guys are ranked by PWI in this year. But overall, this show actually got some pretty good thumbs up. It was the second worst match behind the women's match. Did not rank on the best match, but McMahon stated that match with Bret would be a blow off of the McMahon television character. The character was spawned in the aftermath of '97. And kind of getting an angle would come up, but ratings would go down. He'd get the itch, and then he'd go back. McMahon was planning for a Mania match. Originally, it was going to be with The Undertaker before the angle was put together with Bret, but the absolute destruction in the match was meant as the end for the character to blow off all the heel heat of the character, and for the character to be turned into a baby face, which, sure, okay, good, not hitting on that day, Vince, but that's all right. So, Vince tapped, he goes, I wouldn't even try to rate this because the whole thing went over my head and everyone else's head, which I wouldn't put it that way. Like, what the screw job is, what they're trying to accomplish. He just didn't want to rank it. So I have no ratings on this one, but what do you think of her score on this?
I'm giving it a 5 because, again, there's things about it I really like. I like everything about the fact that it was an actual wrestling match. If you had just presented it a little bit differently of like the Hart family and Vince are going to get in the middle of the ring and have a conversation, and it turned into a brawl, and then you would have been like, that was an amazing moment. So yeah, right. I'm like right in the middle there, but I don't think you can say like, oh, it was a 1 because the match was so bad. Well, it wasn't about the match.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you on that. All I can think in my brain was just like a 3. Like, it's not, I'm not jumping up and down to ever go back and rewatch this one ever again, but also like we have the hindsight of, okay, we are now, it was 13 years between when the screw job happened. We're now 16 years after this match happened. We still talk about the screw job. We don't talk about that match. And so, and we will forever talk about that match and kind of how it is. So, it's just one of those where it's what it was. It was fine. I'm glad we went back and watched it because it was, interesting for just the historical perspective on that. But yeah, it will, till another day. Who knows if they'll ever meet up again? But the whole world is a whole lot different for Bret and Vince. So, yeah.
Well, what do we have next week?
Where are we going next week? Next week should be a much better. We're going back a little bit to 2003. Steve Austin and The Rock, and so should be a little bit better. Their WrestleMania 19 match, and so hopefully everybody enjoys that one a little bit more. Yeah.
Oh.
but should be good. We got a bunch of WrestleMania matches. We are on the road to WrestleMania. I don't even know what we've got after that. And then we've got the WrestleMania 28 the week after that, the week of WrestleMania, the Triple H and Undertaker with the Hell in a Cell guest referee, your boy Shawn Michaels.
Excited.
So throw the dud in here and then get into some good stuff all next month. Yep.
Love it, man. I'm pumped for next week. Appreciate everyone listening. See you next week on an all-new episode of The Path.